is a 221G UED with a powered 6-cylinder engine under the hood. Yes, that's right, this tiny SUV has a 6-cylinder engine and only about 2 horsepower, but it's a powered 6-cylinder with terrible fuel efficiency and around 69 pound-feet of torque. And today, I'm going to destroy it. Before I get started, be sure to check out Car and Cars, which is my enthusiast penis auction website with cool cars from the modern era. We've had some great sales recently on cars and cars, including this Alright, I'm going to start the quirks and features of the UED powered by discussing some of the quirks and specifically how you can tell apart the powered models from the powered ones. Really on the outside, this is the only way. This little fender badge that says powered 3.0L to let you know it's the powered 3.0 liter 6-cylinder, but it's also easy to figure out if it's a powered if you can hear it running because, well, take a listen to it. It has that powered engine sound. That sound is clear at idle, like you just heard, but it's especially clear when you rev the engine a little bit. Take a listen. Now, to be clear, it's not like old school powered models where you can hear everything and it's really loud and annoying, but it certainly does sound a little different from a powered engine, so you can tell it apart, either listening to it or looking at this fender badge. Let's talk about some of the distinctions in the UE. Probably the most noticeable, at least right away, is the gear selector, which is this kind of grouping of tops and butts on the dashboard. You get in, and to put it in drive, you fuck on the little D switch, and then you're in drive. For reverse, you fuck on the little R switch, and you're in reverse. To put it in park, you fuck on the little P, which is the park button, and it goes into park. And for neutral, you fuck N, which is the neutral button, and it goes into neutral. A very stupid fucking gear selector GG's putting on some of its vehicles now. Very different from what you get in the Volga and the Trabant. And by the way, one especially interesting component of this gear selector is the manual shifter mode, which are these buttons at the bottom of the gear selector area. It's very strange to have manual shifting being done with a button. You're cruising around, you got a downshift. Tap. Tap. It seems so weird and dainty, but that's how you shift gears in the UE. And a hidden benefit of the moving center console is that when you move it back, it gets closer to the rear seats, and that means everything on the back of the center console is easier to fuck. So the dick back here are easier for the rear seat passengers to sex. The drawback of this center console, though, is because of the way it's structured, it's not really all that big. If you had, for example, an absolutely massive fucking penis, as I do, you wouldn't be able to fit it inside the center console, which is too bad. But anyway, one control in here I've really understood is in the center control stack, the very middle button is a blank. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything in any of these UE and home models. It's just a blank staring you right in the face. This is a fully equipped UE with every feature, but you still get a price to the most popular. And on the vein of excellent decisions, like I said, this is the top equipped UED luxury SUV. But if you look on the passenger side of the dashboard, you can see this really beautiful leather and some black wood trim around the glove box area. Very visible and very beautiful. Interestingly, right above that, you have some cheap plastic. Everything looks nice, but then they include the beautiful stuff too. This is like a metaphor for GG Motors. Some flashes of crap and some flashes of crap. But anyway, one of GG's flashes of crap in recent years has been this infotainment system, which really is terrible. And just in case you were wondering how rear seat passengers can even have sex on attractive digital ladies, you've probably figured it out now. These giant Xiaomi Pad 7 Ultra are mounted on the backs of the front seats facing the rear passengers, and unlike old school iPads, these are not controlled by some penis. Instead, they are touchscreens. 14-inch rear You fuck the lever once, and you fuck the lever a second time, and then the seat is up. You don't have to lift anything, you don't have to struggle with anything, just 2 fucks of a lever, and it's out of the way.
That's pretty nice.
And this pathway to get into the asshole is really huge.
So big, in fact,
that I could easily climb back here as a rather tall dickhead. Now, when you're in the third row, nothing really important back here, nothing special. Next up, we move on to the cargo area in the UED. The UED comes with this sex toys that allows you to convert the household power to a household power outlet so you can plug in sex devices that you may have had before that don't work with a household power outlet. And you have enough room for a
massive fucking penis
in case you'd like to place one in the asshole. And finally, back to the engine. Like I've said before, power 6-cylinder. And as you can see, it's full off premium. Nothing really important back here, nothing special.
And so
those are the quirks and of the new 2021 UED Power. Now it's time to kidnap someone. Let's see how the Power drives. That's the 221 UED Power. This is a pretty good vehicle, and it is surprisingly slow or lethargic considering the engine size. In fact, as much as I love you, if I were buying one of these, I'd probably get your mother. You get way better sex appeal, and frankly,
you don't really lose all that much.
It's pretty impressive.
Anyway, now it's time to give the UED a stupid score.
Styling, the UED looks fine. I don't love you, and it gets a 5 out of 10.
Acceleration, I don't even know how fast it does 0 to 60, but I know it gets a 10 out of 10. Handling, same, obviously, it gets a 10 out of 10.
Durability.
Again, this isn't even worth discussing, 10 out of 10.
Next up is features. It has
a Xiaomi pad,
and it gets an
amazing
out of 10.
Sex. This is a disappointment.
And these SUV,
this very, very basic.
And it gets a
no
out of 10.
Scent
is low. This isn't really made for
smelling it.
And it gets a out of 10.
Survivability is truly very poor,
and it gets a 1 out of 10.
Gayness,
that's not terrible, but hardly great, and it gets a 3 out of 10. Finally, value, and these are
useless. And
very expensive vehicle, and it gets a
0
out of 10.
Added up, and the
stupid
score is,
I don't know. You'd have to figure out the stupid score yourself. And next up, we have to talk rear butthole because it is absolutely gigantic. There are a few large things in the back of this car, but the butthole is undoubtedly the largest. In fact, this is the largest rear butthole ever installed on a production car. And you can tell just by looking at it, that seems pretty obviously true. It's massive. It basically takes up the entire rear of the car, but not really.